there, I'm Zenet, and today our special guest is Susan Eggman. She is City Council member of the 5th District here in Stockton, also a professor over at Sac State, and recently announced her running for Assembly for the state. So welcome, Susan.
Thank you very much, and nice to be here.
Well, I appreciate you being here. You know what, it's fun. We've been talking about doing a video for a while, finally gotten together. You've got a busy schedule, and I'm really, really happy you're here.
I'm very glad to be here.
Now, I know that there's a lot going on, and some of the things that we hear here at our offices is the state of the city, and how is it doing with the budgets economically. What is going on, and what can you tell us?
Sure. I don't think it's any secret to anybody that the country, the state, the city is in dire financial straits. The good news is that we're resilient. In Stockton, I like to say, diamonds are made by rough times, and we are shining like a bright, bright diamond. We've had a lot of hard times, but I think we're going to come out of it stronger than before.
Right.
We were able to pass a balance, very hard decisions. We had to make a lot of cuts that nobody wants to make, but as people know, cities are funded by sales tax and property tax, and as you know, our property tax and our sales tax has gone down. At the same time, our cost of doing business continues to go up.
Right.
So we had to make some very hard decisions. So one of the things that I think I would really like to encourage people to do is to get involved as much as they can. The government can't, we never should have been able to do everything, but we really can't do everything for all people right now. And I think one of the things that will take us down quicker than budget problems is apathy. And I think, I think we struggle with that. I don't think that's any secret that we have become somewhat of an apathetic nation. In Stockton, we have a lot of good community spirit, and I think we need to build on that. We have a problem with crime, we have a problem with education, and we have a problem with being able to bring in jobs. And I see that as a trinity that it's really hard to just address one. You got to address all three at the same time: jobs, education. And crime. I know your viewers, a lot of them are homeowners and care about their community and care about their property values.
Right.
So I think one of the great things that people can do right now is to get involved.
What are some of the things you would suggest the community to probably
I would suggest that whatever you're good at, take it outside yourself. If you like to play sports, coach a baseball team. If you are interested in kids, volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club. If graffiti makes you crazy, like it makes me, volunteer to paint graffiti up.
Okay.
Anyone that wants to do anything for the city, if you go to www.askstockton.com and put in a request saying, I want some gray paint and some brushes, I want to paint the overpass. Not the Caltrans overpass.
Right.
But like our overpass, our bridgeways.
Right.
You can do that. And it would be such a help. This next week there's going to be, and that's on July 22nd. Probably should cut this out because
that's okay. But there are different events. Yeah.
But there's events that go on all the time. Come out, get involved. There's just a lot of things I think that can be done with community support. And I just think that the closer we are as a community, the more connected we are to everybody's success, the better off we'll be as a city.
And so obviously going to the website, they can put in their input, and can they get information of what's going on and what things they could actually go and help? And
there's some probably the city's not going to be able to tell you everything that's going on.
No, absolutely not.
But you can certainly contact us, Connie Cochran, about she's our PIO, about the things that you might be interested in. But again, if you go to askstockton.com and put in a request, we will get back to you within a day or two.
Excellent. How long has that been available as far as
We've had that probably for about 2 or 3 years, and it is very effective.
Excellent.
I was at a community meeting the other night, and people were talking about they put things in on Ask Stockton, and you get a response. So if there's graffiti that you want to report, if there's a crime you want to report, if there's a question you have about who does what, AskStockton.com is a great way to do it. Complained about a neighbor, and it gets routed to the right department. So you don't have to worry about figuring out what department to send it to. It gets sent there.
Well, that's a great tool to use, and definitely we'll scroll that information here so people can have that. That's excellent. Now, in regards to, you have a vision of what you see in the city. You're a professor over at Sac State. I know your background. Social work, and you have your heart in the right places, as many people say. How is that working in with what you're doing currently? Is it helping you, or what would you like to see or encourage others to think about?
Yeah, I think it helps. It's kind of underscores who I am. As I'm a social worker, I'm an educator. And oftentimes people think about social work just as CPS. Well, that's an important aspect of it.
Right.
Kind of a bigger thing is that we really try to look at, and I teach about, how do we create environments and communities where people can grow to their fullest potential. So I see, being in an elected office, when people say, oh, you're a politician, I say, no, I'm a social worker in an elected office.
And you're an educator.
I'm an educator.
Right.
I like to see things theoretically, but also very practically. So again, one of the things that I, as a social worker, I might be, I'm very interested in issues around environmental justice, social justice, but I know those things in our community are so tied to jobs in the economy. We have almost a 20% unemployment rate in Stockton. That is unacceptable. People don't feel hopeful if they see generations of their family members unable to get jobs. So I think some of the while we're in these economic hard times, I think some of the bright things that we have going on right now is I see three. Agriculture. We've long been, agriculture has been the foundation of our economy.
It's a big hub here.
It's a big hub here. It continues to grow with our wine industry and our olive industry and olive oil. I see a real big influx of agritourism things coming on. I mean, to capitalize on who we are, I think is an important, because then we don't try to grow into something we're not. It's like, this is who we are, and we're getting bigger and better at it. Another area of industry that I really see taking off is the green economy.
Right.
It's one of the fastest growing. I just got our Chamber of Commerce just won another award, a Closing the Loop award. You'll probably see a press release on that.
And I know that's something that's been worked on for several years. And having St. Joseph when they built their new facility, I mean, that they went green, entirely green. That was really impressive.
That was very impressive.
Very impressive.
And again, we're never going to be Silicon Valley, but in the San Joaquin Valley area, we've been able to really build on the recycling industry. Like, how do we make stuff out of old stuff? And so we've been very good at that. The Chamber does a Green Teen San Joaquin, and every second Wednesday of every month at 9 a.m. And there's 40, 50 businesses there, focused on the green economy. So it's one of our fastest growing economies. And then the third one, which I think will be most significant, is the healthcare economy. Again, as an academic, as a researcher, there's no reports that don't say that we are going to be underdeveloped in healthcare as our generation continues to age,
right. And live longer.
And want to live and age in different kinds of ways. And so the healthcare economy is significant. And in Stockton, and we fought to make sure that those jobs are going to be local, but we're getting the 3 new healthcare facilities for the prisons on the east side of Stockton.
Right.
That will be $1 billion infusion into our local economy.
Exactly.
$1 billion infusion into our local economy. Billion dollar.
This is wonderful.
It's phenomenal. And
yes.
Again, when they were going to come in, we said, well, hold on a minute. We don't want you coming in and just putting all these jobs and bringing people in from out of the area.
Right.
So we fought and were successful in getting as many local hires as possible, both for the construction and then for employment.
And for the employment.
Right, so we'll have our trades folks out there working on the facilities, and then hopefully our people going into those jobs in the healthcare facilities.
And excuse for the interruption, but yeah, the construction is great, and that's the infusion from the get-go, but it's short term.
Right.
You want the jobs so that the long-term impact to the community is going to be there. And so obviously educating our workforce and our young individuals is such a key component to that.
Which is another thing that I'm really pleased that we've been able to work with. We're just, they're going to start in the fall. Stockton Unified School District is doing a health careers focused academy. We've been able to partner with them, and that's going to be at University Park in Central Stockton.
Perfect.
And there we're going to get kids in the pipeline early to take these jobs. Another big thing that's going to be happening is Kaiser is locating on that same site at University Park in Central Stockton, locating their new allied healthcare professionals training program. Right now they have a big one in Richmond, but they need respiratory therapists and physical therapists and all those folks. So that training will go on. Delta was able to get an infusion of money from the state when we're getting these prison hospitals in to do psych tech training. And we've now been able to partner with CSU Stanislaus and CSU Sacramento, and they're doing a bachelor's of nursing degree. So I'd like that whenever someone thinks about getting a healthcare education, they're going to think Stockton. And then the one other area, the one other aspect of that is we were also successful in getting a VA hospital.
Right.
So in the next, we'll find out the VA keeps telling us, you'll know soon. I've been hearing
You'll
that
know
for a
that's
year.
So within another year?
I hope by the next couple of
I know you
months they'll
can't
let us
predict,
know.
but let us
It's
know.
going to be in San Joaquin County, whether
gonna be-
it's at
yeah.
University Park or whether it's out by the county
County
hospital.
hospital.
That's what's still undetermined. But that's going to be like a super clinic. So it'll be a super clinic, meaning that they'll do a lot of extra care, and a long-term care facility. So important to care for our veterans.
That's you're absolutely right.
That are aging, the Vietnam vets as well as the new vets that we have coming out now. So I see a lot of hope. I mean, I see hard times right now, and I encourage everybody, please, please, please help us.
Right.
Get involved in your community, in your neighborhood, mentor a young person, coach a softball team, paint graffiti.
Read a book.
Read a book to somebody, volunteer through your church. Whatever you already do, just do it a little bit more while we get through this hard time.
You make a good point, Susan, though. Stockton does have a lot of really wonderful people in the community, and they do give. I mean, one of the things, the Asparagus Festival, that amazes me, what the force that comes out for these nonprofit organizations, which is a wonderful thing. So the potential's there, we know it. It's just we just need a little bit more, and I guess that is part of your message, right?
That's part of my message. Is that during like in a family, during hard times, everybody pitches in and brings a meal or helps them pay the mortgage or whatever for a little while.
Wow.
And so I think during this hard time, I mean, it's our community, it's our city. Let's all just pitch in a little bit more, and not to downgrade what people are already doing, but if you could just kick it up a little bit more.
It's needed.
Yes, it's needed.
Well, did you want to add something else?
I'd love to come back and talk again.
Okay, well, we'll how about when we do that, and we'll talk about the assembly race. I know that right now we don't have the maps really figured out and so forth and so on, and I know that's part of what you need to know before you can even discuss it any further. So we'll have you back, and I so appreciate you coming.
Thanks for coming.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.